You're watching Your View.
Thank you for joining us. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Great friends, what is happening? It is a Thursday afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew, along with Grande and the Brown Man. Happy to have everybody along. You know, man, it's summertime in San Diego, and I got to say, unfortunately, because of this positive breakthrough COVID case that I'm living with right now, on Saturday night of this upcoming weekend, I was planning on, I don't know if I told you guys this or not. Fellas, I want to put you guys on screen so we can all have this conversation. I don't know if I told you guys this or not, but in April of 2020, I was planning on having a 50th birthday kind of party at my favorite spot in Solana Beach, the Belly Up. And there were my two favorite tribute bands were going to be performing that night. The Red Hot Chili Peppers. The Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah, Browner, that's right. You got it. And anybody know the other one?
Foo Fighters.
The Foo Fighters. Both of my favorite tribute bands were going to be playing that night, and we were planning on having a whole bunch of people. This was going to be April of 2020. So in probably February-ish of 2020, we bought a bunch of tickets, and we were planning on doing this in April of 2020. Well, naturally, of course, everything got shut down, right? So now those two bands rescheduled for this Saturday night. Dude, this Saturday night, Red Hot Chili Peppers and the Foo Fighters, both on stage this Saturday night at the Belly Up. So I'm saying to myself, okay, we bought all these tickets. We still have them. We're going to start putting out some invites to people. Yes, just so you know, both of you guys were planning on being invited. Okay.
Never got it, though.
No, you didn't get it. You know why? Because on Monday of this week, when we found out we had positive COVID tests, we're like, oh, well, there it goes. Guess we're not going to be able to invite people because now me and Rachel, we can't even go. And I don't want to say anything about this because I don't want to put other people's stuff out there. But a friend of mine in one of the bands, he himself has a positive test. And he was actually supposed to join us today on the show.
Okay, so let me present a question to you. Let's say, for instance, you test negative on Friday.
Yeah.
Would you still go Saturday?
No. Good question. Thank you.
Because technically you don't have it anymore.
Right. But I will tell you that last night I was on the phone with a friend who is an internal medicine doctor. And he said, you don't need to get a negative COVID test to go back out into the world. But here's what you do need. You need 3 days straight of no fever and no Tylenol to break a fever. So I think I'm on day 2 right now of no fever, no Tylenol, that kind of stuff. So in theory, today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. Let's assume that today I get through everything and I don't have any fevers. My temperature's been like 98.7, 98.8, something like that. Whereas 2 days ago,
sounds like a radio station.
That's exactly what I said. Last night when I was on the phone with this buddy of mine who's
your
a doctor,
temperature.
I said to him, I go, my temperature today was 98.7. I go,
bringing the heat.
I go, I think that's the temperature. Maybe it's just a radio station I'm thinking of. I don't really know. So I really thought to myself, you know what? Even if I'm clear by Saturday, I'm not going to go because it was Saturday of last week at Petco Park when I started coughing. And then it would be this Saturday. And even if I were 3 days clear without a temperature and no Tylenol to break the fevers of any kind, I still don't think that's the right thing to do. As a matter of fact, next week, Monday, I had this boat trip planned. It's something that Rachel and I have been planning on for a really long time. We actually postponed the boat trip, you know? So unfortunately, this Saturday night, you will not see me at the Belly Up. This weekend, you will not see me at Del Mar. Racing is underway at Del Mar already. And then tomorrow, Friday, 4:00 Friday at Del Mar, Saturday and Sunday. That's right. I'm giving you the four, like the four horsemen, you know, faux 4:00 racing right here. And then Saturday and Sunday racing starts at 2:00 at Del Mar. And I'm not going to be out there. You know, I'm going to give this thing until like next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Look, I woke up today and I feel fine. You know, this vaccine, anybody who doesn't get the vaccine, I don't know what you guys are thinking. Seriously, You should be getting this vaccine. It's the safest thing for you, anybody around you, and anybody who doesn't have the vaccine. I wish you well. You're gonna get COVID.
I
And
gotta correct you on.
Go ahead.
Yesterday, I was driving around
Mhm.
doing some stuff, and I was listening to the show because I'm very into myself like that. I like to hear myself on the radio.
That's cool.
And you were saying a stat about the percentage of people who were vaccinated and in the hospital. You kept saying 90%, and for some reason in my head, I thought you were saying 99. And I was like, yeah, that's correct. So this morning, I went and researched that number myself. Of 184 million people that are fully vaccinated in this country, 184 million
Mhm.
people vaccinated in this country, about 1,100 fully vaccinated Americans have died. That's 99.9% efficacy rate. Of the 184 million people that have been fully vaccinated, only 7,000 fully vaccinated Americans have ended up in the hospital, which is about a 99.8%
It's pretty good.
efficacy
No,
rate.
but that's not what I was saying. What I was saying was in Los Angeles, San Diego, and Orange County, of the COVID patients that are currently in the hospital, 90% of them are unvaccinated. That's what I was saying.
Okay. Well, I just went and researched the numbers that I saw today, and those were the ones that I got as an America, as a country, as a whole. That's where we're at right now. And I also saw some scary stuff coming out of Mississippi, which is, I know we're not going to get into full vax talk right now, but it's just crazy because like Mississippi is on the brink of, they are there already. Like their hospital system is about to fail. Like they legitimately have no room. And I'm not talking about for adults. Like they're teenagers going where they're building a hospital inside their parking garage.
It looks
for
disgusting.
teenagers
It looks disgusting.
because they have no room for kids because they're turning into a pediatric hospital because there's so many kids are getting it in Mississippi.
But you know
Like, they
what?
are literally on the verge of medical collapse there, which is insane.
Listen, a man once said, "Virus gonna virus." I don't know who said it.
Yeah.
I do.
Actually, yeah, it was Paul Rudy from
Oh.
KUSI who said it. Virus gonna virus. That's what he said.
No.
Anyways,
Virus gonna virus.
I'm glad
man.
you're feeling better, man. I really am, and I'm really glad that you came out. Personally, I'm very happy that you came out and said it because you could have easily not said anything, especially after the last week that you had. So I'm very glad that you came out and just shared your story because I think they're important to, you know, and even if you were a breakthrough case that went to the hospital, I think that's also important to share. Like, hey, like this happened to me. I'm messed up. I'm in the hospital.
Yeah.
I think it's also important.
You know what? Let me tell you something. I get a lot of these Twitter trolls now. I've become the enemy of the anti-vaxxer community.
You're enemy of the state.
Seriously,
You're a communist.
I'm a communist now.
Commie.
I have become the enemy
Drago.
to the anti-vaxxers. And I got this guy yesterday who's up my butt in Twitter, and he's saying this to me. He goes, "Hey, you told an NFL player that if he doesn't get vaccinated, he should retire. How dare you tell somebody who's trying to live out their dream to give it up over a vaccination?" And I'm like, you know what, man? You guys are so free with taking things out of context. I'll be clear. I'll say it one more time for everybody. If I'm a part of a 53-man NFL roster and 45 of us are vaccinated and 8 of you are not vaccinated, and if one of the unvaccinated infects our team with COVID and we can't play and we have to forfeit the game, not only do we lose the game, but we lose our money that week and the opposing team loses their money that week. That is what the NFL has instituted. You know why? Because they are billionaire owners who want to get through the season and try and make back the money that they lost last year. By the way, I suppose Disney's a bunch of communists too, because they're requiring all of their employees to be vaccinated. I suppose
Amazon as well.
How about the state of California requiring teachers, you're either vaccinated or you're getting tested weekly? And let me tell you
United
something.
Airlines.
What's their deal?
Same thing. All employees need to be vaccinated if you work for United Airlines. Not all airlines followed suit, but United did.
And let me tell you something. You are your own person. You have your own body. You have your own beliefs. You do your own research on Instagram and Twitter. I get it. Okay. You're a scientist. I got it. Okay. But let me tell you something. It's only going to get worse. And here's why. Because it's like my 17-year-old daughter said to me just the other day, "Dad, is my senior year going to get ruined?" I'm like, "No, you're going back to school." Well, guess what? They're going to go back to school. The kids are probably going to wind up wearing masks. By the way, I'm going to say to my kids, wear a freaking mask in school. It's the smartest thing you can do. You know why? Because there's a whole bunch of anti-vaxxers out there who have not had their kids vaccinated. They're going to send their kids to school, And listen, it's people like me who are vaccinated who are contagious. We didn't even know, And then we're going to wind up giving it to the unvaccinated, and they're going to get it, and they're going to suffer a whole lot worse than we are. If you haven't been vaccinated by now, I know this is a strong opinion, and I know that this will separate and divide the audience, but I'm just telling you right now, if you're not vaccinated right now, it's on you. It's a dumb thing when it's available and it's free. And I'm telling you, I've not missed one day of work. Yeah, I sounded a little stuffy. I had a fever and some chills and some stuff. But generally speaking, thank goodness. I actually want to buy stock in Pfizer because I think Pfizer has made it so that I can actually do what I'm doing every day. I don't know, man. I don't know what's wrong with people. Seriously.
I just think when you see this many people dying from something and you have an opportunity to get it and you don't get it for whatever reason, I just think it's dumb. Like Jake Arrieta, who is a pitcher for the Cubs, got released by the Cubs today because during a press junction back and forth, because we love press conferences here, he asked one of the reporters,
"You may
hey,
not. We do.
Take your mask down." And at that point, the Cubs were like, "You know what? We've had enough of you. All right, bye." That's it.
We've gotten rid of everybody else on the team. We might as well get rid of you too. Yeah.
Bye.
So, all right, let me do this. Let me get us back on track. I said I wanted to talk some baseball. I definitely want to talk some football. And I want to say to everybody that's listening on the Mightier 1090, on the radio airwaves around Southern California, look, you got your own opinions. You may not always agree with mine. This guy told me on Twitter yesterday that my whole take on football players and being selfish by not being vaccinated is my worst take of all time. And I'm like, bro, I've been on the radio for 25 years. I got a lot of really bad takes. Okay. I didn't think this was my worst one.
Who do you think has more bad takes? You've been on radio for 20 years in San Diego, Southern California. Browner's been on radio for about 2 years or whatever, a year. Who has more bad takes, you or Browner?
Oh, Browner in 1 year. Is a world champion, okay? In 1 year, Browner has outdone my bad takes.
Yeah.
Here, I'll give you an example, Browner. I'll give you an example of one of your worst takes. You ready? Quote, Ryan Weathers is the Padres' best pitcher.
I can tell you this.
Can't wait to hear this. Can't wait to hear this.
Listen, I can tell y'all this. Do we see? Hold on, people. Hold on,
Playboy.
Hold on, dog.
Let's leave this while you talk.
Yeah, we'll put this up on the screen for those of you that are listening.
For
those of you listening, we'll read to you what's on the screen. But go ahead, Browner, defend your take.
At some point in this season, through a 4-game stretch, each pitcher on this staff has been this bad. Because at one point it was Yu Darvish. At one point it was Chris Paddock. At one point it was Blake Snell. I don't ever think Musgrove's been this bad. But at some point on this staff, each pitcher has gone through a rough patch like this.
That's fair.
So while you guys are trying to say that that's the worst thing that I've said, listen, by admission, I've said some things. Okay, I'm not immune. I've said some things. That was not the worst thing. Okay,
Browner. Right now in this moment, you will look into that camera and you will tell the great friends that you genuinely believe. I don't know why I said genuinely wrong the second time. You really think that Ryan Weathers is the best starting pitcher on the team still?
Yes.
Oh, come on, dog.
Listen.
We're giving you an out, man.
No, you're not.
It's already on the hot take bracket. That has already established itself. It might even be a 1 seed right now. You really, truly think that?
What? Listen, I appreciate the exit that you attempted to give me. But what
emergency exit.
Yeah, but pull the ripcord. I appreciate that. But what I'm saying is I've seen every pitcher on this staff go through what Ryan Weathers is going through. So
That's not what I asked you.
My confidence in him, my confidence is not shaken one bit in Ryan Weathers.
Oh, get out of here. Give me a freaking
break. It's not.
Ryan Weathers is unfortunately, and I say it like that, unfortunately for Padre fans, falling apart. Alex, if you put that back up on the screen, tell everybody what it says. Because again, there's a bunch of radio listeners that are driving around right now going, what are you guys talking about? I can't see it, which is why I always tell the radio listeners, come watch the YouTube show And I'll always be reminding the TV viewers, you're only getting an hour of the show, so always come back to YouTube. Go ahead, Alex.
Since the All-Star break, not including the injury that he had, he has 4 games started, record of 0-3, ERA of 11.49. Opponents are hitting .358 against him, and he's only pitched 15.2 innings in those 4 starts.
And Browner, let me ask you a question. Of a couple of bad takes that you've had, okay? Let me ask you which one you'd be willing to stand for more. Ryan Weathers is the best pitcher on the Padres, or Carson Wentz is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Which one do you feel stronger about?
Without a doubt. Ryan Weathers.
Even though your boy Carson Wentz might
Back week
come
one,
back,
baby.
he might be
Week
back
one.
by week 1.
You know what?
baby.
I really, really, really hope he comes back week 1. I really do.
I do too.
Yeah, because that way he could just start sucking right away and we don't have to wait till week 12.
Not gonna happen.
It also puts like a stamp of it actually like closes the door on Rivers going to the Colts.
Yeah.
Like, that was already a long shot, but now it really is a long shot.
Right.
I'm gonna make a prediction right now.
Mhm.
September's
Oh,
gonna be my
gosh.
month, dog. September gonna be my month.
Yeah.
When Carson Wentz out there throwing touchdowns, touchdown interception ratio 4-1, 300-yard passing games. Ryan Weathers doing 7-inning shutouts. I'm just gonna be on this show. I'm gonna be smiling, dog. I'm just gonna be smiling.
All right.
I hope you listen, as far as the Weathers ones go, I would love to be wrong. I would love him. No one is rooting against you on that one.
I
Carson
know.
Wentz, Carson Wentz, though, yeah, we don't know.
That one we want. That one we just
Yeah.
want him to suck just so we can keep rubbing it in. That's all.
Come on,
So
Carson.
we can keep reminding you about this take. All right, listen, stand by. I do want to talk about what happened with the Dodgers and the Giants. I'll get there in one quick second. I also want to start talking about the NFL preseason, which kicks off tonight. Week 1 of the NFL preseason kicks off tonight. I'll get there in just a matter of moments. Real quick, though, a mention of our guy at Corky's Pest Control. That's Corky Miser. One of my dearest friends on the planet, a father figure to me, a mentor, a big brother, a BFF. You guys know about my 20-year relationship with Corky and how much he has meant to me in my real life, and what he has always been as far as the business life, which is ultra supportive of everything we've ever done. From the time we left 1090, through the world of podcasting, back onto the radio, now onto television, Corky has been there through it all. If you have any problems with pest control, Alex was talking to us earlier today that in his apartment building, he's got some neighbors that are having mice issues, And so when I had issues with mice in my house, not only did Corky come and make sure that those mice didn't get into my house anymore, he would send a bunch of pictures and they go, hey, there's a hole here. There's an entryway here. There's something going on here. And I go, well, Cork, you've shown me how the mice are getting in. Who do I call to fix it? And he said, oh, no, we'll come do that. And they did. They came, they closed up all these entry spots that mice were getting in. And by the way, extremely affordable. Like I was surprised what I thought inexpensive it was. So if you've got a rodent issue in your house or your apartment building or your place of business, you call Cork, he'll come take care of it. As Corky says in all of his TV commercials now, just Google one word, Corky's. That's all you got to do. Google Corky's. You'll get to Corky's Pest Control, or you can call that phone number. You can call 1-800-901-1102.
Corky's. Yeah.
It was weird. It was weird to listen to. It was even weirder to watch. All right. So keeping on with baseball, though, and what happened? We were talking baseball, weren't we?
Wild card. Watch.
Let's do it, Alex. Let's show everybody where the Padres are because it is time for Wild Card Watch. All right, Grande.
Well, Dodgers keep winning, so 4 games out of the Dodgers, and the Reds keep losing, so that's nice. And the 4.5 game lead remains there over the Reds.
You say the Dodgers keep winning. So remember we had this number, these stats, where we were looking at the Dodgers, the Giants, and the Padres, how they all performed against teams with 500 records or above, 500 records or below. And what we found was that the Dodgers were beating up on teams with bad records, but they were losing to teams with good records. Let's take a look now at an updated version of that because the Dodgers have gone to Philadelphia. And in the first 2 games of their series, they played earlier today. They were playing a day game, and they were down early. It was 2-0 early in the game. But I got to say, the Dodgers have climbed out of this. Alex, take us through this.
Yeah, so the Dodgers against 500 or below teams, 42-17. Against winning teams, 27-28. The Giants are 39-17 with teams against 500 or below. With winning teams, they're 34-24. And also for the Padres, with teams 500 or below, they're the ones doing the worst against the bad teams. They're 32-25 and 34-25 against winning teams. And since they're playing the Diamondbacks, Scott, I added to this list because this is what these teams have done against the Diamondbacks so far this year. Everybody's crushing them. Giants 14-2, Dodgers 11-2, but the Padres 8-4. And they play the Diamondbacks for the next 4 games. And I'm calling it right now, and I hope everybody's with me. I demand a sweep.
Whoa.
I like it. Don't ask for a sweep. Don't hope for a sweep. Freaking demand a sweep. I'm with you, Grande.
Yeah.
Nice.
You've already lost 4 games to them. No more. Go out there and make this 12-4 against them on the season. They suck. They're terrible. No excuses. Sweep them.
What are they at home?
I knew you were gonna ask that. They're 14 games below 500 at home.
Okay, yeah, we should sweep them.
Browner loves to hang his hat on how Colorado performs at home. Okay, stick around, everybody. We're in the 7 Mile Casino studios here of Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man. But when we come back, what I'd like to get into next is tonight the NFL kicks off the preseason. Now they've already had the Hall of Fame game, but the real preseason kicks off. Want to get to that story and more on the Dallas Cowboys and Hard Knocks next.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Southern California radio is a special game, a unique game from the sandy beaches of the Baja and all the way to Santa Barbara. My voice sounds pretty cool. The all-new and mightier 1090.
Live soccer is back. Watch Orange County Soccer Club, OC's highest level of professional soccer, live on your view. Watch Orange County SC take on the Tacoma Defiance Wednesday, August 18th at 7. Watch world-class players and future stars. Transform your summer with the new family game night and outdoor fun all season long. Live soccer is back. Orange County versus the Tacoma Defiance, Wednesday, August 18th at 7 on your view.
At La Jolla Cosmetic, we try to help people achieve well-being. And we feel that it's not only important to look good, but also feel good inside. And honestly, what a better opportunity to help my community than being a supporter of an organization such as Las Patronas.
The mission of Las Patronas is to provide financial assistance to local nonprofits that are providing valuable community services in the areas of health, education, social services, and cultural arts. La Jolla Cosmetic has been one of our biggest supporters at Las Patronas, so we couldn't do what we do without their support.
You feel the need and you see the need because we go to visit each grant applicant.
Partnering with groups that are actually dedicated to help your community, it's the best thing that you can do as a responsible business.
Time now for Kaplan and Crew tonight's Community Connect.
Shelter to Soldiers selects dogs from shelters and rescue groups all throughout California. Our ideal candidate at Shelter to Soldier is 8 months to a year and a half old. They're confident in different environments, they have strong social drive. Another motivator like food or toy drive. And ultimately, these are dogs that want to have a job and that have a greater purpose to become a service dog. Currently, about 85% of our dogs pass their service dog training. But if they don't pass, they become a career change. We don't like to use the word failure around here. So career change to an emotional support animal, or if that doesn't work out, then they career change to a pet dog. Still finding a loving placement and purpose in life.
We are in the hope business. what we do every day and what we've done for 40 years is to provide kids and families going through critical illnesses hope that tomorrow's going to be a better day. My favorite wish is the next one, because that is the power of our organization, is to bring hope to kids who are going through something right now, and hope can't wait. So people can get involved now by donating resources. They can donate in kind. They can donate their time as volunteers. They can donate dollars, because kids are still getting diagnosed with illnesses that qualify for Make-A-Wish every day. So people can visit us online at sandiego.wish.org. They can visit us and follow us on social media. There are so many ways to get connected, and people can help in many, many different ways. We need your support now more than ever, because illness doesn't take a vacation and it doesn't take a break because of COVID-19.
Our massive signal covers an area where over 24 million people reside. So, if you're listening or advertising on another station, we have only one question. Why? The new generation of radio, the all-new and mightier 1090.
Sometimes they say it might work, it might not work. And so I ask myself the question, like, why even get the vaccine if it can also harm you? For me, it's like taking a 50-50 chance.
Hi, Andrea. Some say that the vaccine is harmful or that it might not work, but that's not true. Millions of people have been vaccinated with no ill effects, and I can tell you that getting the vaccine is far safer than not getting it.
Welcome to the Jacobs & Cushman San Diego Food Bank and our 90,000 square foot facility. We feed 350,000 people every single month. Many people ask, how can I help? You can volunteer for the San Diego Food Bank. Just go to sandiegofoodbank.org, register to volunteer. No group is too small, no group is too large, but those volunteers are integral to our success in feeding the community. Another way you can help is by hosting a food drive. Just go online and register your group, your company, or your organization. It's that easy. Another great way is through our virtual food drive, where you can literally buy food on our behalf. Lastly, another great way to make an impact is to go online and make a financial contribution to the San Diego or North County Food Bank. On behalf of the San Diego Food Bank, our staff, our volunteers, and the 350,000 people we serve every month, thank you for helping us fight hunger and feed hope in San Diego County.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout with Haley Stasiak.
The Rams finished up training camp on Tuesday. A big change that emerged this last week of training camp was who will be the starting center for LA. Brian Allen took over for Austin Corbett the last couple days of camp. Corbett was moving from right guard to center, but now they've got him back in his original position. Head coach Sean McVay said he's been impressed with Allen's performance during camp and that they'll continue to play around with the guys up front ahead of the season. Jordan Fuller had an impressive training camp. He got some reps as the defensive signal caller and has emerged as someone who can control the defense even as only a second-year player. McVay has made it clear he's got confidence in his current running back core. Jake Funk has come in as a rookie and impressed the staff, while Xavier Jones and Darrell Henderson Jr. had solid camps as well. The Rams will take on the Chargers in their first preseason game on Saturday. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew Tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by YourView.
Stadium in San Diego. It has been a sellout the last few days. Royal SC ready to kick off this season. Stadium in San Diego. Professional soccer has finally arrived.
It's like the spirit of Greenwood is all over the place in Tulsa, North Tulsa specifically. It's like it's not just one location anymore.
This is the beginning. This is a launching pad. This is not something that we just did to come together just for this moment.
The Spirit of Greenwood is brought to you by Multicultural Health Foundation. The vaccine can protect us. Will you? Verify and trust.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Great friends, it is a Thursday afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew along with Grande and the Brown Man. We are in the 7 Mile Casino studios, broadcasting on the radio airwaves of the mightier 1090. Also, our YouTube channel going crazy with our YouTube chat. Make sure you leave a thumbs up, come down below and comment. Visit all of our sponsors. They're all linked there at the bottom of the page. And tonight on television, Channel 4 San Diego, Channel 4 Santa Barbara. And if you're in Orange County or Palos Verdes, it's Channel 118. We're part of the Cox Your View network. So 1 million homes in Southern California have access to our TV show. I don't know how many of the million are actually watching between 7 and 8 p.m., but I hope everybody will DVR it. And for those of you that are watching on TV, Alex will put up on the screen for you right now. We only give you an hour on TV, but on radio and on YouTube, you got multiple hours. So if you are a TV viewer and you want more, go to youtube.com/Kaplan and Crew. That's youtube.com/Kaplan and Crew. Hey guys, before we get to NFL talk here for a minute, I got to throw something at you and get your opinion on something. And here goes. Today is August the 12th. Next week, August the 17th, will be 1 year that we have put the show back on to radio. So, Alex, you'd have to try and figure out the dates here, but I'd say in like March or April of 2019, we went off radio, right? Do you remember the date? Yes. Yes. Yellow card that man. Yellow card that man.
I know it's been you know what? It's been a difficult day for him due to my overheating.
No excuse.
I will rescind that card.
No way,
that's
man.
What I get.
No,
that is what I get for
no.
talking to my fiance in the middle of a show.
No, because the thing is, dude,
my own doing
is that Alex is in control. So when you get a yellow card, Browner, or I get a yellow card for turning our mics off, Alex is in control. I never thought he would have actually gotten himself another yellow card. Yes, Alex was on camera talking into his microphone. Nothing was coming out because he had his mic muted, and he gets a yellow card for that. I love it.
I'll take it.
A yellow card. Take that L. Okay.
I'll take it.
So
I don't know why the video didn't play, but I try to give myself a yellow card.
Yeah. For some reason, the referee gives him a yellow card out there.
March 31st, April 1st, 2019, the transmitter cut us off. We went online streaming only for the entire month of April, and I believe April 30th was the last day at 2-something p.m. Total 0 dark 30.
Okay, so call it from May of 2019, from May of 2019 until August 17, 2020. Do the math. May, June, July. Okay, so for like 16 months, we're completely off the radio. You know,
correct.
We're podcasting, we're video casting, we're YouTubing, we're doing everything we can to keep it alive, but we're not on the radio, right? So 16 months off the radio. Now, here we are approaching our 1 year anniversary of being back on this new iteration of 1090. Guys, I don't know how you feel about it, but that year, again, we're 5 days away. That year has flown by, dude, right? I mean, flown by. And not only did Bill Hagan come in February of 2020, pre-pandemic, not only did he walk into my house in the studio and say, hey, I'm going to put 1090 back on the air and I want you guys to be a part of it. But not only did he do that, but I don't know, August 17, 2020, we went back on air. And then how long has it been that we've been on television now?
I was going to ask you that. I don't know.
I think
March.
That's a good question.
March, April, May, June, July. Yeah, like 5-6 months. So Bill Hagan, congratulations, Bill. I know we're still 5 days away from the 1 year anniversary, but man, you are the kind of guy that when you say you're going to do something, brother, you do it. You get it done. You know, as busy as you are with as many businesses as you got going, You are a get it done, diligent, do what you mean kind of guy. And I appreciate the hell out of you, Bill. I really do. But I have an idea, and I want to run this by you guys, and then we'll get to some football stuff.
Okay.
So Del Mar is our longtime sponsor. And it was great this year that we were able to get back out for opening day and do a live broadcast for opening day. And we've been promoting and hyping Del Mar. I always encourage everybody either download the Del Mar app, visit their website, Del Mar Thoroughbred Club. It's dmtc.com. And racing started earlier today at 2 p.m. Tomorrow it'll be 4 o'clock Friday. Saturday and Sunday wide open starting at 2 o'clock. Okay. Part of the package that we have with Del Mar is that we have 2 days in the director's room, and we have 6 guests in the director's room. I'm guessing that if we talk to Craig Dato, the chief marketing officer of Del Mar, we probably could turn it into 1 day with 12 guests. Okay. Now the director's room at Del Mar, this is where the owners are for their biggest races. It's where the board of directors for the racetrack gets to go. It's very fancy. It's very air conditioned. The food is top notch. Beverages flow all day long, and there is no money exchanged. Okay, it's part of the prestige of being in the director's room, right? So I'm wondering, maybe what we should do is this. Maybe we should put together a 1-year anniversary party that would include the 3 of us, Bill Hagan. Then we throw in like Bert. We throw in Gary. Who are you saying?
I said nah.
Nah, yeah, forget Bert. All right, yeah, forget about it.
He works for
Come on, man. What y'all doing at the Bert, man?
Yeah. But seriously, like maybe we invite Gary Cooper and Corky and we invite Ruthie from Torrey Holistics and Spencer from HES Solar. And then what we do is not only do we invite all of our great sponsors, but then what we do is we say, okay, let's have some sort of contest or some sort of giveaway where we invite 6, 10, 12 listeners, people who've been with us the whole time. And I don't care if they're YouTube viewers or if they're radio listeners, they're supporters.
Podcast listeners.
Right, they're supporters. And so what if we put together a really nice big party? I'll try and talk to Craig and go, Craig, can we expand from 12 to maybe like 20, maybe 24 in the director's room? Everybody gets dressed up. What?
Are you going to require a vaccine passport?
Yes.
Well, I mean, the track doesn't,
But we can.
We can.
Should we?
Yes. Yes, I think we should, because we need to stick to our guns, dog. We need to stick to our guns. We got to be the change we want to see.
Hey, that's good. Way to go. That's like a Michael Jackson song, right?
No, Wise Man said that.
A great man.
Right.
Wise.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
A great wise man once said that. Hey,
sometimes
look,
it's both.
Yeah. Hey, I think. What do you guys think about this idea though of having like a 1-year anniversary celebration at the Del Mar racetrack? Because racing is going to end around Labor Day, and we should do it sometime like by the end of this month.
Is it going to be a weekend?
I'd like to do it on a Saturday.
Okay, because I am like gone for 3 weekends after this weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 3 weekends in a row. Gone.
Where are you going?
So, well, we could talk about it off air, but I'm gone.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, we got to plan our fantasy football get together at 7 Mile Casino.
Yeah, Browner wants to do a fantasy football party and draft. And I talked to the people at 7 Mile Casino. They're totally down to host it. We got to figure that one out, too. That's a whole other deal.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, to all of this stuff.
Well, let's get on it, because we always talk about it, but we're never about it.
Well, that's because, like, I'm an idea guy. You're crazy busy producing and doing everything that has to get done to get the radio show, the TV show, and the podcast all up. And Browner has this whole background in party planning and promotions and all this other kind of stuff, let alone his brilliance on the air. Brown, we got to take care of this. Maybe we'll call Dato today at Del Mar and we'll start planning this thing. What do you think?
I'll be the promotions coordinator here too.
I know we all have to wear multiple hats. So, okay. All right. Well, listen, thank you, Del Mar. We appreciate you guys. Glad you guys are open. And as soon as I get past my quarantine, I will be back. And as far as everybody who's listening right now and who's watching right now, give me some feedback in the YouTube chat. Let me know what you think. Should we have a 1-year anniversary party at Del Mar? Or I'll throw another idea at you. Maybe what we do, since Alex says he's got all these weekends that he's going to be out of town, maybe we do like a Friday night at 7 Mile Casino. We say, hey, look, Friday night, 8 p.m., let's all go to 7 Mile Casino, and that will turn into a party there. I mean, I'm sure they'd love to have us.
This has to happen before football season starts. So I got to get going on this. So send me their info.
Okay, you got it. All right. So listen, from the 7 Mile Casino studios, it's Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man. Let's turn our attentions to football. So start us off with this. Tonight is the official kickoff of the preseason. There are 2 NFL games tonight, and then the weekend, we'll get going here in week 1. Alex, can you put up on the screen for everybody to see what we've got tonight on the schedule? Let's take a look here.
Oh, this is such exciting football. You got the Washington football team in New England to face number 10, Mac Jones.
Wow.
And then you got the Philadelphia Eagles hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know. Is that Dwayne Haskins with the Steelers now?
Yes.
That's
Is that where he's at?
Yeah.
And so Jalen Hurts, I'm assuming, I don't know how much he's going to play, but that is the 2 games tonight on the schedule.
Okay.
NFL Network will be airing Patriots football team.
Okay, now take us to Friday, though. Tomorrow night, what do you got?
Falcons hosting the Titans, Bills at Lions, and Cowboys at Cardinals.
Okay, Cowboys-Cardinals is interesting to me because I watched the first episode of Hard Knocks, and I'm also seeing the storylines now about Dak Prescott needing another MRI. Let me tell you what's going to happen in this Dak Prescott story. I'm going to make my call right now, and I wish I was going out on some great limb here, but I'm not, because I think people are going to hear this and go, yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable to me. So Dak Prescott comes off this major ankle injury.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Maybe 6 games into the season last year?
2.
Oh, it was only 2 games in.
Yeah.
So he misses 14 games and still comes away with one of the absolute monster contracts in the NFL. Amazing. Jerry Jones puts all this money into this kid under the assumption that his ankle's going to be fine. Well, guess what? Good news, Jer. Ankle's fine. I run around all day long. Got another problem now. Can't throw. Kind of an occupational hazard if you're an NFL quarterback. Alex, read to us, if you don't mind, the Dallas Cowboys tweet.
The weirdest tweet of all time from the Dallas Cowboys. Last night, they said on Twitter, it's not a setback, and it's not a reason to worry, but quarterback Dak Prescott is planning on getting another MRI. That's the weirdest tweet of all time.
Where do you stand on butts? The 2 of you, where do you stand on butts?
Round, big.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Melee.
In conversation, do you hear anything that someone says before butt? Because I don't. Like they put those other stuff in there and then went, but I only heard what they said after the butt.
Yeah. Well, that's all the only thing people took away from it. When a social media team tells you, don't worry, nothing to panic, but it's time to panic. It's time to worry. There's a setback coming. And now, he's not going to play at all in the preseason. That's been established. He's hoping to be back for the opener. Hoping.
Who's more likely to play more games this year in the NFL? Dak Prescott or Carson Wentz?
Carson Wentz.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Because Carson Wentz plays, but he doesn't play. He will never play a full season. He will never have 16 games under games played on his stat line ever. So that's a good question. Because Dak is, up until that ankle injury, was pretty durable for the way he plays the game. But
you is until you ain't.
That's what a wise man once said.
Right.
So I'm going to go with Carson. Dak will play more games. I don't know he'll be there week 1, but I think he will play more games than Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz tore his ACL diving for a touchdown. I've never seen that before. The guy, he's like the Tatis of finding ways to get injured. That's just a weird way. I think Carson Wentz plays maybe 7 to 8 games this year, just like usual.
Listen, man. It's Wentz.
You think so?
It's Wentz. Like I said, you is until you ain't. All you need is one thing to go wrong, and then, like I said, it's like a domino. First it was the ankle. Now he's compensating for the ankle. Now the shoulder's hurt.
I think my favorite part about the way Hard Knocks was edited for the first episode was they purposely showed him being upset when they made him rest. They purposely showed him cussing at the coaches, cussing at the backup. I never told you to effing go in there. I don't know why they keep freaking taking me out. And then at the end of the episode, oh yeah, he's got a shoulder strain. He's just, it showed how wrong he really was and how careful the Cowboys being Wrong injury, but still, like, there was a reason why they're holding you back. They got $150 million invested in you, fool. Like, what do you think they're just gonna throw you in with the Lions?
Do you think that Dak Prescott, and it's only episode 1 of Hard Knocks, but just through episode 1, do you find him to be likable?
No.
See, same. I
No.
find him to not be likable. And I really want to like him because, he actually has this one part in Hard Knocks where they're showing his scar on his ankle. And they go back and they show the play last year where he got hurt. And he actually tells the story of how he's sitting there on the ground and his first instinct is to like pop his ankle back into place. But he realizes he can't do it because his foot is facing the opposite direction. And then when the trainers come onto the field and they actually boot his ankle, he comes to the realization, my whole season's over right now.
Yeah.
But he actually says in the document, or not in the document, but he says in Hard Knocks, he goes, I got a lot of scars. He shows the one on his ankle. He shows his face. I got a scar here. I got a scar here. You guys know the story of why he's got all the scars on his face? Do you guys know this?
No.
No.
Oh, you guys don't know the story?
No.
Oh, true story. You could Google this real quick, Alex, and you'll probably find it out. When he was a quarterback at Mississippi State, he got into a brawl. And I'm trying to remember where it was. I don't remember if it was like at a concert or a festival in a parking lot somewhere. And dude, like a gang of dudes beat him down. You'd have to Google it real quick to take a look at
Dak
it.
Prescott jumped. I'm just seeing on YouTube.
By Aaron Donald?
No.
Because he like to do that.
No.
You got to let that go because you're so wrong.
And we saw the video.
Yeah, I see pictures of it now, Scott.
Yeah, but I don't.
Lots of scratches, scars.
I don't remember the details though. He was at something when he's in college, and
spring break in Panama City, Florida.
Okay, I knew it was something like that.
It's where good things happen.
Yeah. So it's a bunch of drunk kids, and I don't know if they knew who he was as a quarterback of Mississippi State, or
in Panama, maybe not. But here's the vibe I got, and tell me if you got the same vibe watching it. Dak Prescott gave me the vibe of, if you're friends with him, he's a super nice guy, but if you're a stranger, he's a douche.
Well, and also like the way he was talking to his teammates, like especially the backup quarterbacks.
Right.
I thought that was really
that I don't mind.
I kind of thought he came off sounding like an ass.
Yeah, that I don't care about. I just got the vibe that like, oh, dude, like me and Zeke are best friends. I'm gonna be super nice to Zeke, but if you're anybody else, that's not my friend. I don't really care about you too much. That's the vibe. And Zeke, for one episode, I did a full 180 on Zeke. I like him.
Yeah.
He always seemed like the vibe I got from Dak is what I thought Zeke was. And then watching one episode of Hard Knocks, I'm like, yo, Zeke's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like Zeke.
Never liked Dak. I never liked him. Still don't like him. And ain't going to like him going forward unless there's a dramatic change of personality. Never been a fan of Dak Prescott. Y'all can have him.
Go back to the schedule, though, Alex, for the NFL preseason here for a minute, because we talked about tonight's games, Washington and New England, and then Pittsburgh and Philly, and then Dallas and Arizona tomorrow. But I was looking also, I'm going to follow this year.
At Saturday, 7 p.m.
Wait, say one more time?
Saturday, 7 p.m., NFL Network, the battle for Los Angeles. Rams versus Chargers? Is that what you were going to talk about?
No, I actually wasn't. I was going to go back to Friday night for a second. Again, if you put it back up on the screen. If you look at Friday night, 7 o'clock on Friday night on the NFL Network, Buffalo against Detroit. I'm not a Detroit Lions fan, and I don't have a lot of interest in the Lions, but I am curious about Jared Goff. I felt like Jared Goff took way too much of the blame, and I say blame. I mean, listen, the Rams were in a Super Bowl 3 years ago, maybe. They were in the playoffs last year. Goff got hurt and wasn't even started. And then because Wolford got hurt on like the first play, Goff goes in, wins a playoff game. I'm going to be curious to see. Look, it's the Lions. They're terrible. They're always terrible. They got a bizarre head coach. Anthony Lynn's their offensive coordinator. I got no confidence in that coaching staff. I got no confidence in that organization. But I always thought Jared Goff took too much blame for the Rams.
Did you tell Sean McVay that when you hugged it out with him?
I did not tell him that, but I've said it many times on the radio. He's heard it, believe me. And
if you bring up Anthony Lynn, isn't that crazy? The two guys that got ousted in LA are now in Detroit.
Right. The guy who was ousted by the Chargers as head coach and the guy who was run out of town as quarterback of the Rams, those two guys
think together.
Right, they're going to combine to be not good. But Jared Goff had an interesting quote because people are following this story, and he was just saying, look, nobody has any expectations of us. We're the freaking Detroit Lions, right? but we're not paying attention to that because we got to build this thing from ground up. Yeah. Like you went to the Rams as the number 1 overall pick. They hired a hot young coach every time he hired a staff, they got picked off, and the Rams were winners. They're not Super Bowl champions, but they're in it every year. The Lions are not. I'm curious to see what happens to Jared Goff. By the same token, obviously I'm going to be watching a lot of Rams football this year. They're raving about Matthew Stafford. Everybody in camp is raving about Matthew Stafford. So let's see that too. I find these storylines to be interesting.
You know, the only person who I think no one's raving about in camp, because it's funny you said that at the end that everybody's raving about Matthew Stafford. Joe Burrow. Other than that, everybody's like, oh, I love our quarterback. Mitch Trubisky's getting love in Buffalo. Like, cool.
I'm not really paying attention to news in Cincinnati or Buffalo. I didn't hear that.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, the only thing I care about this
weekend.
weekend.
I mean, they got one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL.
The highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
Y'all watch out for Joe Burrow, though. Remember who told y'all?
Joe Burrow's
all I
gonna be
care
great.
about is the battle for LA. That's
Is he,
really
though?
all I care about.
Yeah, he is.
You know who's going to win the battle for LA?
Who? The Rams?
Bolt up, homie. Don't do that.
Come on, LA Brown.
Bolt up, homie.
Come on.
LA Brown.
Come on, LA Brown.
Bolt up. That's
It's
embarrassing.
so
Bolt up,
embarrassing.
fam. Bolt
So
up.
embarrassing.
It's actually cringe.
Yeah, it is. We are in the 7 Mile Casino studios. Stick around, everybody. Again, for those of you that are watching on television tonight, make sure you come over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Kaplan and Crew. We will have the highlight of the day, man, coming up right around the corner. Stick around, everybody.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Catch Kaplan and Crew Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. If you've listened to Scott Kaplan the last 20 years, you know one thing. He likes to stir up some shit. A new generation of radio. The all-new and mightier 1090.
It's like the spirit of Greenwood is all over the place in Tulsa, North Tulsa specifically. It's like it's not just one location anymore.
This is the beginning. This is a launching pad. This is not something that we just did to come together just for this moment.
The Spirit of Greenwood is brought to you by Multicultural Health Foundation. The vaccine can protect us. Will you? Verify and trust.
People often ask me, what is the Ronald McDonald House? We are a home away from home for families with a child in medical crisis. We opened our doors in 1980, and ever since then, our job has been to support families who have a child in the hospital. And those families often have kids who are very sick or perhaps injured. And we're literally 5 minutes from the bedside here at the Ronald McDonald House. So if a mom and dad need to get to the bedside, they can get there very quickly. If it's possible to imagine a child in the hospital, you can begin to imagine the stress that a mom and dad are under when they're in there acting as partners in care for their child. Our job really is to give them a place where they can find some respite, some relaxation for a moment or two before they head back to the hospital. If you'd like to support the Ronald McDonald House, visit our website at rmhcsd.org. You can make a donation, you can learn how to volunteer, you can learn more about exactly the programs and services we provide. There's even a wish list there, so you can send or drop off the kinds of supplies we need here to care for families 24 hours a day, every day of the year.
Kaplan and Crew tonight presents Sports in a Minute.
There's nothing quite like that mid-August excitement as football season inches closer. And we're just a week away from the start of the 2021 high school football season in San Diego. Cathedral Catholic sits at number 5 in the Max Preps California preseason top 25. The Dons went 5-0 in the abbreviated 2020 season this past spring. In those 5 games, they outscored opponents 223-14. Lincoln is ranked at number 19 in the rankings. They went 4-1 in the spring. Their only loss coming to Cathedral Catholic. Keep an eye on quarterbacks Jaleel Tucker and Jaleel Florence for the Hornets. They both have more than 20 collegiate offers and are going to be a threat to opposing offenses in the secondary. The high school football season kicks off in San Diego next Thursday with Sweetwater at Grossmont. I'm Haley Stasiak. That's your Sports in a Minute. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Rich Eisen here, inviting you to catch my show, The Rich Eisen Show, on our flagship radio station, the Mightier 1090. We're on every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to noon Pacific time. You'll like what you hear. If not, that's just, I guess, too bad.
A new generation of radio. The all-new and Mightier 1090.
Stadium in San Diego. It has been a sellout the last few days. Loyal SC ready to kick off this season. Stadium in San Diego. Professional soccer has finally arrived.
Love Promise moments are part of the mission of what we do here at Subaru El Cajon. A Love Promise moment is when we as human beings deliver an experience beyond exceptional to any one of our guests, and then that guest's life is positively affected by that interaction. It's amazing to watch what happens when two human beings talk on that level and create something magical. And sometimes they drive away with a car, sometimes they don't, but we've had an impact on that person's life, and that's the magic. You know, our employees react to things like Make-A-Wish, Feeding San Diego, and the other groups we help by jumping in.
This year, through COVID, we were able to help a little girl out and got her a rather large scooter that she needed for mobility.
We gave up our Christmas party as employees, and we actually adopted a wish of a young girl here in El Cajon, and we gave her a 3-wheel scooter so she didn't have to use her wheelchair all the time. It gives me goosebumps even thinking about it.
Let's take it up a notch with Kaplan and Crew tonight's Premium Boost, powered by the Mightier 1090.
We are in the hope business. What we do every day and what we've done for 40 years is to provide kids and families going through critical illnesses hope that tomorrow's going to be a better day. My favorite wish is the next one, because that is the power of our organization, is to bring hope to kids who are going through something right now, and hope can't wait. So people can get involved now by donating resources. They can donate in kind. They can donate their time as volunteers. They can donate dollars, because kids are still getting diagnosed with illnesses that qualify for Make-A-Wish every day. So people can visit us online at sandiego.wish.org. They can visit us and follow us on social media. There are so many ways to get connected, and people can help in many, many different ways. We need your support now more than ever, because illness doesn't take a vacation and it doesn't take a break because of COVID-19.
Welcome to the Jacobs & Cushman San Diego Food Bank and our 90,000 square foot facility. We feed 350,000 people every single month. Many people ask, how can I help? You can volunteer for the San Diego Food Bank. Just go to sandiegofoodbank.org, register to volunteer. No group is too small, no group is too large, but those volunteers are integral to our success in feeding the community. Another way you can help is by hosting a food drive. Just go online and register your group, your company, or organization. It's that easy. Another great way is through our virtual food drive, where you can literally buy food on our behalf. Lastly, another great way to make an impact is to go online and make a financial contribution to the San Diego or North County Food Bank. On behalf of the San Diego Food Bank, our staff, our volunteers, and the 350,000 people we serve every month, thank you for helping us fight hunger and feed hope in San Diego County.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's Premium Boost is powered by the Mightier 1090. Kaplan and Crew tonight is brought to you by BMW San Diego, your certified BMW dealer, serving drivers throughout San Diego and the surrounding areas.
Shelter to Soldier selects dogs from shelters and rescue groups all throughout California. Our ideal candidate at Shelter to Soldier is 8 months to a year and a half old. They're confident in different environments. They have strong social drive, another motivator like food or toy drive. And ultimately, these are dogs that want to have a job and that have a greater purpose to become a service dog. Currently, about 85% of our dogs pass their service dog training. But if they don't pass, they become a career change. We don't like to use the word failure around here. So career change to an emotional support animal, or if that doesn't work out, then they career change to a pet dog. Still finding a loving placement and purpose in life.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.